Well, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and a lot of people have done reviews of the Gerber Dime, okay? And it's a good multi-tool, and I would buy it. I think these things are going for about $15 now in this coloration, and that's shipped to you on Amazon, if that's the way you want to buy it. You can probably buy it at your local outdoor store for around 17, 18 bucks. They've got the black version, which the black version may or may not be higher or lower. It's higher most places. How much? I don't know. It just depends on the stores you have around you. But everybody knows that when I put together my kits, that I put them together, and this is the Suma, of course. I put them together actually with Leathermans. Now, of course, I wrap my Leatherman in a basically a Ranger band or an inner tube, and then I put my can opener in it. That's just to try and minimize noise, okay? And when you're putting together those kits, size matters. And as we can sit there and see, the Dime, of course, is larger. In a few different dimensions. They're about the same size, really, except for in length, okay? And that's not, I mean, that is a disadvantage to me when you're putting together these small kits, because I tend to go a little excess, a little heavy, da-da-da-da-da. But the reality of it is you know, which is better for you. Of course, this is not one of my covert kits because it has a white light in it, and it is not a covert light. So this kit is actually designed just for as an emergency kit. Now, that's really, you're going to have to put that kind of in your, you know, what's more important. A smaller tool that I really like. Believe it or not, it's the small things. It's this little split ring that I really like. The one that was on my Dime basically was already sprung when I got it, and that was a defect. And I've used this thing a little bit. You can see it's marked up. Another thing I really don't like about the Dime, and this is just a personal preference thing, it is just that it has a direction, okay? There's a top and a bottom. And you can see this bottom is actually concave, and this one is actually convex on the exterior, and then it wraps around. So it's meant for grabbing like this. If you're right-handed, you're going to do it like this. The red goes up, and it just feels a lot better in your hand. Does this work? Yeah, but it just, you know, it's a little nitpicky thing, but I'm kind of being nitpicky right now because they're both really good tools. And I'm not a big Gerber fan, and anyone that knows my shit knows that. Well, there's that, okay? My next problem is the Leatherman squirt is actually manufactured inside the United States, and the Gerber Dime is made in China. That's also something that you have to take into account when you're spending your money. What country do you want to support? What people do you want to support? Now, I know a lot of different people, and a lot of this, there, the other, and da-da-da-da-da, have come out and said, you know, the Dime and the Gerber squirt, you know, PS4, which the PS4 is what this is, there's really no difference, and this, there, the other, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I don't see things that way, because you have to look at things not only on a microeconomic level, what does it cost you today, but the macroeconomic level is what does it do to influence your tomorrow. And if you aren't supporting those people that are around you, everyone knows that I do not carry a Leatherman multi-tool, okay? I carry these little squirts. I use the PS4s. I have some of the larger Leathermans, but the one that I carry every day is a Victorinox, and I have absolutely no problem supporting the Swiss government, okay? Or the Swiss people. I have absolutely no problem supporting the American people. On some products, I will support the Chinese, but when I have a better option, a smaller option, something that I can actually kind of wrap my brain around a little more, that doesn't have, it's not directional, it's a little bit smaller when you're putting these kits together, because that's really the environment in which I'm living. This is the environment in which I'm trying to work and trying to actually survive. This just matters to me. This is smaller. It might be a few more dollars, but it's made in the United States. It supports American workers. Now I'm going to get off of that soapbox. Now, how do I deal with this Gerber Dime not having a split ring that's really made worth of shit? Because, I mean, was really a POS. Well, these are my keys, and everyone knows I usually carry a titanium lighter on it with a titanium clip just for weight. I've got my standard deal, and then I have a clip. And I can just sit there, fasten that onto there, and it works, okay? And really, in the end of the day, it comes out basically about the same as this Victorinox Midnight Mini Champ. Everyone knows I really like the Midnight Mini Champ. Now, this is the red model. This is the older model. And these aren't my primary sets of keys. But in reality, that's the way it works for me. So I don't really care. You know, I could grind that off and not lose anything, but am I going to waste my time to grind it off? No, I'm not. So that's kind of my take. They really have about the same tools. You've got a blade. You've got a blade. One's a little bit different than the other. Is that really a difference? Not really. This one has a little more curve to it. It has, you know, doesn't have a point like that in case you want to reach under something. Does it matter to me? Probably not. You go to the other side. You've got a box opener. On this one, you've got a file. Am I cool with that? Yeah, we're good. Is the box opener a cool feature? Yeah, okay. You go to the opposite side, and of course on this one, you have your scissors that pop out, and we have the scissors on this one also. Are they that much different to justify one really over the other one? You know, for what you're really going to be using these scissors for, probably not. The Gerber ones seem a little heavier duty to me. The spring's a little more heavy duty, possibly on the yeah, I don't know, man. On that, a little harder to actuate these. Does that matter? Probably not. I mean, in reality, this is almost so nitpicky, it's absurd. They're both pretty good tools. Just what do you want to buy and who do you want to support? The one problem that I have had with Gerber in the past is the hardness of their steel on their multipliers, on their multi-tools, the larger ones, the ones that flick out the front, the ones that have been issued, this, there, the other, forever and always. Now, this kind of really doesn't matter in this tool because it's not as hard use as the larger Gerber tools, the larger Gerber multipliers. But, you know, that's the one thing that I really, in the end of the day, always come back to. I've had a lot of Gerbers fail due to the hardness. Now, people will sit there and say, possibly there is more area or a finer point on the Gerber because it has that flat section there than the Leatherman. Now, I'll show you a simple trick real quick. What you can do is you can take that there handy dandy sandpaper, fold it in half with the sand side out, okay? And then you can take and just pull that across and tune those two surfaces to be perfectly mated together. Now you can do that with tweezers, you can do it with whatever, and you kind of can do it however you want to do it, whether you wish to do it that way or this way. And believe it or not, the two sides will be perfectly married together, as you can sit there and possibly see that it was touching on that side a little more than this side, and we're getting it a little more work together. Let's see if we can get a focus and then see how that edge is. That side's about perfect. That side we're working on, but there we go. And that's how you tune these. That's how you tune cheap tweezers. You know, take those cheap tweezers and run them up and down some sandpaper. Now this is 220 grit just because I had it here from the other video. And you can make those into very precise fit tweezers. You can also kind of do that here with these. Of course you will, because they are actually grooved all the way out to the end, you'll take some of that off. But you know, that's just the way it works. If you want to tune this dime to where it's more precise, that's the way in which I would do it. Anyway, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and this is my take on the dime. Will I buy another one? No. I'm really going to stay with the Leatherman product, just because it's made in America, and I have had problems with Gerber metal in the past. Maybe not now. Maybe not since Fiskars has bought them, and this, there, or the other, and da-da-da-da-da. But once you really burn me, I'm pretty much burned. And if I have to come, you know, it takes a lot for me to come back around to something that in a pinch has failed on me. Anyway, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and the Gerber Dime, my take. You know, take it for what it's worth. Have a good one.